Hello everyone. So this is Laura Poirot, as you know, and I'm here to wish Nut a very, very happy birthday. I think it's a good old 46 years of age. I'm not too sure. Supposedly, allegedly, whatever you want to say. But happy birthday, and I have a gift for her. Such a gift. As you know, in my last little video that I've put up um, on YouTube, I debunked Philip's birth by debunking her pregnancy, Nut's pregnancy. I'll put that video on now for you. Happy 45th or 46th birthday, Megan, let's be honest. I found a picture, thanks so much DD, on Twitter for this, and I looked into the whole context of it all. And on the 22nd of February 2021, Megan was meant to be 6 months pregnant. Better yet, 8 days before, she announced that she was pregnant on Valentine's Day, and she looked this big. 8 days before, she wasn't pregnant. So I presented that, yesterday on her birthday eve because of just how good she looked in that slinky dress. And I thought it'd be a treat for her, but this is going to be the big one. This is for her birthday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to debunk the mystery surrounding Fauci's birth, the legitimacy of his birth, through his birth certificate, and the fact that I believe that fraud has been committed by many, many, many people and organizations, government, I don't know. You can say what you can understand. Anyway, so let's get started, shall we? So initially I thought of this idea because I've looked at it before, but I didn't really look into it that much. Didn't think of it as a big deal. And then people kept bringing it up to look at the birth certificates and see about the legitimacy. And, obviously now it's just another way, another means of proving that this is just a whole farce and a fraudulent scam and scheme plotted by... Definitely the palace would know about this. The government would know about this. Everyone would know about this. In the video I just showed you, Spotify would have known she wasn't pregnant. Archwell would have known. Todd definitely knows. And so this is the sort of fraud that we've been exposed to. These are the lies that we've been fed as truth. So it does make my blood boil a bit, but it's a day of celebration, so let's go on. I looked into the birth certificate again, and I had some helps from some friends, and of course, and I realized a few things. I took a different route starting out to try to figure this out. And that was actually looking through all the articles that came out when the birth certificate came out, like when it was like officially released, and the sort of narrative that was just vomited out by not just British tabloids, of course American, but also Australian. It was quite global, and I looked at these tabloids, and what I like to look at is the publication dates and times. And so the story is given to us just in a broad, brief way, that 11 days after Fauci was born on May the 6th. Yes, May the 6th, because the protocol was on the 8th. So 11 days after, on the 17th of May, was when Nut and Todge decided to register Fauci's birth with a registrar. So all of these articles came out on the 17th. And I wanted to see the time patterns and see like if this was like a real, authentic, legitimate unveiling or reveal of the birth certificate. And what I found was really, really interesting, because let's just start from here with it. So basically, on that day, the only two images that were shown to the world that were released were of the birth certificate or the registration of the birth of Fauci. They were provided by PA Images. One was by Catherine Wiley and one by Jonathan Brady. And I looked to see when they were uploaded on the PA website. And they were uploaded, Catherine Wiley's one, which is a photo of the actual paper form, at 3:14 p.m. and Jonathan Brady's, which is like a scanned copy, at 3:17 p.m. So 3 minutes difference. And I thought that was extremely strange. Another thing to note is that this certificate is the same certificate. They have the same certificate number. So, yeah, these two people had the same copy or were sent the same copy by Nut and Todge. So I think that's important to note. So obviously the registration happened in the morning and they were given and produced publicly online by 3:14 p.m. and 3:17 p.m. On social media, PA announces the first announcement about the birth certificate was about Archie being born at Portland Hospital, which is really the whole intention of the narrative that we're about to give. The birth certificate was leaked to prove that he was born at Portland Hospital. And that was done at 3:08. So, 6 to 9 minutes before the images were actually uploaded on PA. And then at 3:20 p.m., so after they were uploaded, they then posted on Twitter that they have a copy of they showed the copy of the birth certificate. And from then on, what's happened is I've looked into the articles. To the minute, when Catherine Wiley posted, she uploaded through PA Images her photo of the birth certificate copy. To the minute, at 3:14 p.m, very, very strangely, the Mirror UK posts an article about the birth certificate the exact same time as when Catherine Wiley uploaded. So there can't be like they got the license and they used the birth certificate copy. So no images were up online before that Mirror UK article came out. And they actually, the image that they use of the birth certificate is a photo of theirs. So I'm guessing Catherine Wiley, I don't know who she is, could be working with them, and she took the photo and then uploaded for licensing or for money, for whatever, however it works. So that first came out by the Mirror UK at 3:14, the same time as Catherine Wiley posted the image up in PA Images. 3:10 p.m, before the image was published on PA, the Daily Mail created their article with the other copy of the birth certificate, Jonathan Brady's scanned copy. Now, Brady is an editor for Daily Mail that I've seen, to my knowledge. So this makes sense that this has happened. So 3:10, before the PA has even uploaded their images online, Daily Mail wants to get in first, like the Mirror, and put up this article with this news. Over 2 hours before this birth certificate was ever made public, before any Royal Rota tabloids or mainstream media in Britain ever leaked this information about, any details of the birth certificate and so forth. And before there was an announcement by PA Images, an article in Australia was out by 1:12 p.m. UK time, which is, I think, 10:12 p.m. Australian time. So like 10 o'clock at night. And they detailed the information or the points in the certificate, along with the story of how the registrar travelled from Westminster Registrar's office that very morning to Frogmore to complete the registration. So we have an article out, the first article that I've seen that's the earliest, at 1:12 p.m. on the 17th of May, before all the other information is leaked in the UK. So Australia and Australian media knew of this information long before, at 1 o'clock, much earlier, because they would have to write the article up and have all the points down. So this seems a bit more strategized, a bit more pre-planned, and it's a bit strange considering this is surrounding a registration that day of a baby's birth. A bit strange when you think about it. So how did an Australian article get published by that time with an obtained copy of the birth certificate that wasn't by PA Images, wasn't by Daily Mail or the Mirror? How were they ready to publish this article detailing how the registration happened that very morning, long before PA Images' announcement, as I said, and probably have repeated that 4 times? You will notice in this article, along with the others that have questionable publication times, such as People magazine, which was also published at 3:16 p.m, 2 minutes after the first image was uploaded. And AP Images, which created an article, published 3:13 p.m, 4 minutes before PA posted the image they used, which was Jonathan Brady's. And The Telegraph, which posted at 3:09 p.m, 5 minutes before the first image was ever posted, 8 minutes before one was used. Before the one that was used was posted. So by 3:09 p.m, that was the first British article out by The Telegraph, even before Daily Mail and who else was there? Daily Mail and the Mirror. So please note that at least 2 of these breaking articles in Britain, which seem to have ownership of this birth certificate, I think it would be Daily Mail and the Mirror, but don't quote me on that, are on the Royal Rota, allocated by Britain's trade body in the Industry News Media Association. So thus far, we have ascertained that the publication and knowledge of the details surrounding the registration of Faachi's birth certificate are not what they seem. The first real article that was out and information that was out was in Australia at 10 o'clock p.m. our time, around 1 p.m. British time. So let's go to the actual event and see how we can break this down. 11 days after Fauci's birth, the morning of Friday, the 17th of May, Deputy Registrar of the Westminster's Registrar's Office went to Frogmore Cottage for Todge and Nutt to fill out the application form to register Fauci's birth. Alicia Gilroy, a superintendent registrar, normalised and confirmed this storyline as true, saying it was standard procedure, including the normalisation and confirmation, of course, trying to add credit to the birth certificate itself. By 1:12 p.m, the details were out online, as I've said many times now, in Australia, and by 3:09 p.m. in UK, before PA Images even uploaded the images online for others to license. The Telegraph published the first article in UK with PA image of the birth certificate. So they accredited PA image or images for the birth certificate picture before they had even uploaded it online. 3 days prior to registration, mainstream media told the public that the birth certificate won't be made public at all for privacy concerns. I think what happened was it added suspicion and doubt on the line of succession validity. Strategy was then changed by the day of registration, supposedly with the sole intention of proving that Fauci was born at Portland Hospital, also proving the narrative, or also really solidifying the narrative, trying to make it more and more credible. This is what looks to me like risk mitigation. Firstly, let us start off with the Deputy Registrar, Deksha Mavada, who was in fact, according to her LinkedIn profile, working in training and compliance as a specialist registrar, not for Westminster City Council in the UK, but for City of Westminster in Colorado, USA. Not only that, but Patricia Gordon was a Deputy Registrar of Westminster City Council, UK, during Deksha Mavada's so-called employment there, or in Colorado. And she signed Prince Louis' birth certificate a year prior as Deputy Registrar. This does make me question not just Deksha Mavada's job and the legitimacy, and thus the legitimacy of Fauci's birth certificate, but also if she exists at all, or if she is made up as some other characters that I've found in these narratives we have been given. The palace doesn't officially announce the registration of Fauci's birth, so they were very aware of its lack of legitimacy. Still, they instructed and allowed the government to commit fraud and provided Fauci the line of succession despite knowing. The fraud is clear if we go back to the birth certificate provided. So let's now have a look at this. So we've already gone through the articles and the mainstream media exposure. We've gone through the event. And now we are going through the birth certificate itself. Firstly, I would like to personally thank @ARandomKaren for their help in obtaining an official copy of the birth certificate for us and for myself, so we can make some comparisons here. For you to see properly here, I have provided the official registration of Prince Louis' birth next to the official registration of Fauci's birth, next to the official copy of Fauci's registered birth certificate. Apart from the lack of signature by Todge compared to the signature of Prince William, you are able to spot something very odd, or many things that are very odd. And this is the fact that the official registration of Fauci is not, in fact, an official registration. It is not the application form. It is a copy of the birth certificate, a copy of the registration that's already been processed by the Westminster City Council, supposedly, signed by someone who wasn't a deputy registrar at the time and who we are not sure actually exists. It is irregular for a copy to be signed by a registrar and be passed off as the official certificate. The legitimacy is then questioned. Not to mention, a copy of the registered birth certificate could not be ordered and received on the same day of registration. Administratively impossible. There are 3 more important factors to consider. There is no application number on the certificate. There is no stamp of certification. And the UN low code on the top right corner of the page proves this form as fraudulent, as this copy was ordered and received for Nut and Todge, but their location is set as Bredbury in Manchester, UK. That BBU is for Bredbury, Manchester, UK. This is the code not for Windsor, but for that location. This means that the birth registration of Fauci, allowed and passed off as true, is false and fraudulent. Seeing that there is no legitimate registration of Fauci, and this is supported by British government and the palace to validate Fauci's existence for the line of succession, the child that they say Nut birthed, you can see that we have been lied to by our own monarchy. Please like, share and subscribe because this is important and important to share with everyone. Happy birthday, Nut. My gift to you is justice. Thanks, guys.